Analyst and broadcaster, SiriusXM, former NFL player Solomon Wilcots, Nick Colangelo, Varicel, and Macy. They're going to tell us a little bit about how that will help our listeners out, help out athletes, help out people like Scott and I who are sitting here broken down in our 40s now. But it's great to have you guys.
Hey, great to have us here. I'm enjoying this time on Radio Row and here at the Super Bowl has been great. Good friend Nick Colangelo, president and CEO of Varicel. The work that they're doing to repair cartilage damage, not just in the world of sports, but for people in just everyday population, the weekend warriors. You want to run in that marathon, this is the procedure to tell your doctor that you want. The days of the microfracture surgery are over because they can grow your cartilage, implant it back in your knee within 6 to 9 months. You're back in action.
This is something that maybe Carson Wentz should be calling you for?
Well, I think he had a little ligament damage, so that doesn't apply. But, yeah, obviously cartilage damage injuries are very common, right? And, the issue with cartilage is that it doesn't repair itself. So there's no blood vessels, no nerves. So once you have damage in your cartilage, it goes on, obviously there's pain. You can't do the things you want to do. It goes on to arthritis and knee replacements, right? So that's what we're trying to prevent. So we take a patient's own cartilage cells, we grow them up in the lab, we put them onto a membrane, the surgeon implants it in the knee, the cells start growing your own cartilage, and as Solomon said, 6 to 9 months later, you can be back to doing everything you wanted to do. So
isn't that some incredible science, guys?
Well, from a player's standpoint and all that kind of stuff, how much do things like this really start changing the way that injuries are viewed within the game?
As a player, from my perspective, what I can tell you is it's a game changer. I was talking to a good friend of mine, Hall of Famer Rod Woodson, over 70 career interceptions. He played 17 years in the league, probably could have kept playing because he's always in great shape. But he got to the point where they kept going in, removing the damaged portion of his cartilage, and then another portion to the point where he had nothing left. And so had this procedure been around, and that's what he asked, he said, where were you guys when I was playing? And I can tell you, every athlete who has had cartilage damage that I've talked to them about the Macy product and this procedure, that's the first thing they say. Where was this when I was playing? Because it could prolong careers, and it gives you a second opportunity. And even if you're not a football player and you just want to have everyday life, you want to go out and play golf with your friends, but you can't walk the golf course because you got some cartilage damage in there, this can give you at least a quality of life back.
Agreed, Solomon. And tomorrow we'll have Dara Torres, 5-time Olympian, 12-time medalist. She's had the procedure done and is doing great. Wow. So she'll be here talking to people.
And how long
tomorrow.
has this procedure been available?
So this product was approved by the FDA in December of 2016, and we launched it just at this time last year.
Relatively new.
So, 1 year.
Macy.com, by the way, it's MACI.com. Pronounced like the store, MACI.com to find a Macy's specialist in your area. So check that out. And guys, while we have you here, there is a game going on in town. Let's this town is unbelievable, by the way.
Yeah, that's right.
I said you could spend a day on each floor in this mall. It's just unbelievable.
This is phenomenal.
Where they got us. But, we cover the Eagles. We are the Eagles affiliate in Atlantic City. So a lot of people, this has kind of been a special season for them. And I'm just trying to get football people's thoughts on how this team got to this point. Because it seems like there's so many different unique stories that everybody can pinpoint something different as to why the Eagles are here.
Yeah, and I think part of that is the job that Howie Roseman and his staff has done, because if you lose a quarterback or you lose a left tackle like Jason Peters or someone like a Carson Wentz, you better be able to make a move and help your team to get better. I thought in the middle of the season, before the trade deadline, when they made a move for Jay Ajayi, I said, whoa, you know what? I said, hey, this is going to be good for Jay. This is going to be good for the Eagles. And I've always loved LeGarrette Blount. I always thought he was one of the best big men. He reminds me of Jerome Bettis because he has a big body, but he's got sweet feet that usually comes with a running back that's much smaller. I mean, he can change directions.
Like
he can stop.
Who got hurt.
Yeah, he can stop and start, cut on a dime. Most big men, 250 pounds, can't move like that. And you saw what he did to the Vikings defense when he loaded up and dragged defenders into the end zone. So I've always liked the Eagles teams under Andy Reid, but they were never this kind of physical when it came to running the football. And so the offensive line's underrated, and I love the way they run the football. It gives them a chance.
Is that, Brady and them guys have been here for years. It seems like you got to come up with a different formula every year to beat them. That's why Belichick's so great. He's got something different. But what's the formula to beat this Patriots team?
It's a complicated one because it's not easy. If someone says, well, they just got to do one thing, they're really not shooting you straight because they're that difficult to beat. You have to hit, hurry, and harass Tom Brady. You have to force him to throw the ball on your clock, not his.
Yeah.
Okay? But that's not going to even be enough because you have to do that consistently for 4 quarters. You've got to score points because Tom's going to get his. He's going to score 28 points. They come in here averaging 28 points a game, the league's #1 ranked offense. So you got to get to 30. The Falcons last year got to what, 28? Wasn't enough. But one can argue if they had 3 more points, they are winning the game because those 2-point conversions wouldn't have been enough to even tie it. So you've got to make them chase points, and then defensively you've got to come up with some turnovers.
Yeah, and you wonder if this Eagles defense is the one because they have been excellent.
They're good
in the playoffs. Man.
They're really good. No doubt.
From a former player's perspective here, Solomon, when the Eagles, we talking injuries as well, they had 9 guys on their leadership council. 5 of them are on IR right now.
Yeah.
How improbable is it that despite losing these kind of leaders that these guys are here?
Well, they say true leadership is what happens when you're absent. It really is. Good leadership has a way of really being able to bring people along to the point, just like your parents when they raised you. If they taught you all the right things, if they left the room or if they left the home for a minute and went shopping and came back, things were still intact. That's called good parenting. If things fall apart when the parent leaves and somebody ain't doing what they're supposed to do. But good leadership has a way of really showing up when the leader is absent. That tells you that they chose the right guys to be part of the leadership council. It tells you that the rest of the guys were paying attention. And that leadership took hold and really is still resonating with those players in the locker room.
It's NFL analyst, broadcaster Solomon Wilcots. We appreciate him stopping by. And the president and CEO of Vericel, Nick Colangelo. Go to Macy.com to find a Macy specialist in your area. For anybody out there, as I mentioned, with cartilage issues and you want to get more information, MACI.com. It's the Eagles and the Patriots. We are live on Radio Row. We appreciate Solomon and Nick stopping by. Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks for having us, guys. We really appreciate it.
And by the way, in the break there, we had some good WVU stories there.
Tell Bob Huggins I said hello. Huggy.
Yeah, man. See, I told you I got to wear the blue and gold everywhere. All right,
You're getting more attention for that than you are anything Eagles related.
Right.